Gil Martin of Locked On NHL back with you as we cover the 2022 NHL Draft. With me, Brandon Pillar of Locked On Senators, our prospects expert, and joining us again, a very active draft day for the Chicago Blackhawks, Jack Bushman. And Jack, Frank Nazar, the pick for the Blackhawks. Now, your thoughts about this selection and what he adds to the Blackhawks organization?
Hey, I'm super excited about Frank the Tank. I'm already dubbing him Frank the Tank here in Chicago. But he seems like a really gifted offensive player who, again, different position, obviously, than Kevin Korchinski. We took it number 7. But one thing Kyle Davidson talked about in the offseason in particular was getting faster, getting quicker at all positions. And the Blackhawks certainly addressed that with Korchinski, and here again with Frank Nazar. And he put up really impressive numbers offensively with the U.S. National program this past season. Just seems like a really good, hardworking guy, good motor, good intensity, one of those guys who's going to play a hard game. He's going to bring it day in and day out and has the offensive upside to go alongside it. The only thing really that I've seen a knack about him has been the size. Other than that, I haven't seen really any complaints whatsoever about Frank Nazar. So I'm really happy with this pick from the Blackhawks at number 13, to be honest.
Brandon, what does he add to the Blackhawks attack?
Well, I agree with you, Jack. I think Chicago fans, maybe if you're not too stoked about Korchinski at 7th, get excited about Nazar at 13 because he has probably the biggest ceiling in this draft because there's so much growing he can do. He was one of the top guys at the U.S. program. And what I like so much about Frank Nazar is he's so shifty. Like there's goal highlights I saw where he just blows by defenders and creates a breakaway for himself. And then he beats the goalie one-on-one. He's just always able to find himself in the middle of the ice. Those hard to get to areas are not hard to get to for Frank Nazar because he has such a high motor and he's always working so hard. I think his ability to make space for his teammates and then combine that with being a good playmaker, he's going to be someone that, especially under the tutelage of Jonathan Toews and Patrick Kane, helping him develop, he's going to be someone that's going to be playing a big role for the Chicago Blackhawks for a long time to come.
Brandon, what does he need to work on to get ready to play in the NHL?
Like Jack mentioned, pretty much the biggest knock on him is his size. Now, he did play center at the U.S. program, but some scouts seem to think that he might project better as a winger just because his defending down low isn't great. And when you're a smaller player trying to defend low in those corners in front of the net as a centerman, you might get bullied by some of the bigger power forwards or vice versa when you're in front of the net offensively. Some of those bigger defensemen are really going to make things hard for him to stay in the middle and those high scoring opportunities. But I think whether he plays center or the wing, when you have a guy that has the drive and the motor of Frank Nazar, he's not going to give up on a play. And just because you might outmuscle him, you probably are not going to outsmart him. And having that hockey IQ really helps him project to be one of the better players in this draft class.
Very impressive. Jack, your thoughts about the trade that got you this pick?
Yeah, it was tough because Kirby Dach, he's had a really slow start to his career here in Chicago after being the 3rd overall pick in the 2019 draft. And Blackhawks fans, it was a struggle this year for him, and Blackhawks fans got on him early. They had a lot of expectations, and I really felt for Kirby Dach, right? Because the front office didn't necessarily do him any favors. They rushed him along to the NHL, probably when he should have at least spent some time in the AHL or maybe even another year of juniors. They didn't really aid him in the process. He also broke his wrist at the World Juniors a couple years back that forced him to miss a majority of the COVID-shortened season. So it's been tough for Kirby Dach, and I feel for the guy. But I do feel like kind of a fresh start somewhere else will be good for him. There were times you go to practice this year, and I mean, the guy just looked like he was hating life. I mean, no smiles. Just felt like he had the weight of the world on his shoulders. And I really do still feel like he could be a very solid player one day. Maybe not the offensive ceiling that you would have loved at number 3, but he's already a sound defensive player. So it was tough to see Kirby go as someone who's believed in him throughout the struggles. But all in all, considering that the Blackhawks landed Nazar at 13, I think this was a pretty good deal. And they also get a 3rd round pick out of it too. And I feel like Nazar has the higher upside for sure. And I think that's kind of why the Blackhawks went that route, especially now having this patient approach after already trading Alex DeBrincat earlier on in the day.
All right. For more, you can watch and listen to Jack at Locked On Blackhawks. Jack, great to see you again.
Absolutely. Who knows? Maybe we'll be chatting here again soon with how the Blackhawks have been going about it.
Very possible.